Howdy. I just got a Confusion in the mail. This is a titanium Confusion. I never tried the Confusion before. People kept saying, Doc, you love responsive yo-yos, you should get one of these. I never really thought it would be that good for responsive, but YoYoFactory just did this like big sale, and so I got a B grade Confusion for like half the price of whatever they normally are. And the second I got the Confusion in the mail, the very first thing I did was take the bearing out. It comes with kind of an A-size bearing that's a concave concave. And aloha, Chaco. And thanks everyone for watching. So yeah, I took the original bearing out the second I got it because I could tell it was already not responsive enough. I put in an A bearing with a seal, like the bearings that I use for my yo-yos, weekenders and stuff like that. Put in some Traxxas silicone lube, and yeah, I have to say, like, kind of out of the box, just those modifications. So not really out of the box, but like this yo-yo with a flat A bearing and some lube actually is really good for responsive. When I'm doing responsive stuff, I really like to have lightweight yo-yos, and this is kind of chunky, but it's really snappy. I have to give it that, right? So anyway, I think the thing I was kind of really wondering was how this thing would play for responsive 5A, because that's kind of what I've been doing a lot, responsive counterweight play. And yeah, I wanted to kind of give it a try. How's my audio? Let me know in the things how the audio is. And I'm going to play responsive counterweight. I just got these counterweights from 5ayoyo.com, Steve's company. The Paul Escolar and this kind of oversized counterweight. Which one should I play with? I kind of have a feeling what y'all are going to kind of vote for here, but I'm going to put one of these onto the Confusion and see which one goes. Thanks for letting me know the audio is good, by the way. Paul Escolar counterweight, big ass heavy counterweight. Actually, it's not that heavy. Yellow one. I hear yellow. Oh, Paul. I think the yellow one will show up better, so I'm going to try that one. Oh, the votes are piling in for, okay. We're getting votes for Escolar, which, I mean, I can understand, right? So this is a special edition that I believe Unknown made, and proceeds from these went to the Escolar family to help with the expenses. And it looks like I still need some sort of bead or something at the end. So I'm actually kind of lucky I brought this. So, and maybe I'll switch the counterweights out. But basically, if you're just joining, I got a titanium Confusion in the mail. People told me I would love it for responsive play. I didn't believe them, but once I looped up the bearing, I have to say it's actually pretty good. And mostly when I play responsive these days, I'm playing with counterweight. So that's what I'm going to try doing now. So I'm going to put on the counterweight onto the string using one of these guys from Chunkies. Kind of giving props to all my favorite 5A folks today. 58yoyo.com and Chunkies. So the way this thing works, if you never used it, it just kind of goes on your string. You could use kind of anything, but you're just going to take this, and now that I got it threaded through, I'm going to put it through the bead. I don't usually use beads with counterweight play, with a responsive counterweight play, but because this hole is pretty big, I don't want the knot falling through, so that's the whole purpose of the bead. And hopefully this kind of threads up nicely. So this is just a string that came from YoYoFactory. I probably could tweak the string a little bit, and I know it's going to be too long. Howdy, Efren. Boop. So let's kind of just make sure. Yeah, that's on there good. One of the reasons I don't like using the beads when I'm doing kind of responsive play is I'm actually looking for something that doesn't slide around. You know, for me, it's a little tricky when it slides around. Actually, Length might be fine. I often play shorter string when I'm doing this counterweight. Well, when I do responsive in general, shorter string makes it a little easier to catch stalls, in my opinion. The longer the string is, the kind of more string you have in here, so the harder it is to kind of get that stall to land. But you know, without modifying the string, this is pretty good so far. Weight's a little lighter than what I've been getting used to lately. I've been using kind of heavier and heavier weights for some reason. I used to have this kind of thing about really light, small weights, and then somewhere along the line, someone sent me a giant weight, and I really got hooked on it, especially because I thought it was nice and visible, which actually made kind of landing tricks and stuff easier. And yeah, folks asking, this is the Paul Escalar counterweight from Unknown, which was available on, and still is available on 58yoyo.com. I just got this in the mail, and yeah, good thing it's titanium. You know, when I'm playing responsive style counterweight or whatever, when I'm playing counterweight in general, I really like plastic counterweights. I have a hard time, you know, I hate when you're scared about dropping your yo-yo and kind of denting it and stuff like that. I'm gonna be like doubly scared with titanium, you know, so hopefully the fact that I got this as like a B grade, you know, will make it a little less painful when I do drop it. Let's see if I can hit boop. I always say boop. Come on. Yeah, so this is playing pretty swell. It is heavy for me. And in particular with the counterweight being kind of on the light side, this combo is a little rough. This combo being kind of like a heavier responsive yo-yo than what I usually play, and a lighter counterweight than what I've been playing. I don't know if anybody has the kind of weights on hand or the information on hand. The yo-yo I have been playing the most lately for responsive is the Stupid, which is a metal yo-yo, like 6061 aluminum yo-yo by Toy Bonnia, and I love it. I actually really, if I could ever do a signature yo-yo with them, like the Doc Pop Stupid or Dr. Stupid, that'd be killer, man, because that's a killer yo-yo. And because I've been playing with that so much, instead of my plastics, you know, it does hurt 6061, so it really doesn't handle hitting the ground too well. But since I've been playing with that, I feel like my style's gotten better. I feel like I have kind of advanced a little bit because I'm playing with a little bit more performance-friendly yo-yo rather than like just the, you know, plastic yo-yo that takes a beating. So I think I am going to try to kind of use something like this more. And this is definitely heavier than the Toy Bonnia Stupid, but you know, it's working pretty nail. Like, I'm actually pretty stoked right now. I honestly thought about buying two of them because the price was so good during the YoYoFactory sale, the amazing sale. And I just really didn't believe. People kept saying I'd like it, and I really didn't believe them. But I'm vibing with it, you know. Put a heavier counterweight on, and it's actually even at times too snappy. And that's partially that weight for me, so that when it does hit, it really kind of pulls the weight in a way, you know, it's more drastic than what I'm used to. Yeah, I definitely wish this was a heavier weight. The weight that I've been digging the most lately for responsive play has been Porycon is making something larger than their usuals, and it's heavier. I don't have it handy. Maybe I do. I do such a good job taking care of my toys. Let them all tangle up. Okay, so this is the stupid that I was saying I've been playing with lately. You can see it's been heavily, beaten. It is 60-61, so kind of not a great yo-yo to be hitting on the ground all the time. And this is that Porycon. I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Sumo or something. It's big, and really all that means is it's like bigger than most of the other yo-yos. But I'm loving this thing, and this combo together is killer. So this is what this has been one of my favorite yo-yos. Like, it's been really inspiring playing with. And, I was kind of hoping, boy, coming back to this, it feels really good. Oh, the Stupid is so good. The Stupid was like $35. Like for an aluminum. Oh, it's so good. Okay, anyway. God, that's so good. Okay, it is a Sumo. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that I'll like this one more. I'm going to put some more time in it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's, it was like a B grade sale or whatever, but it's totally like, it's great. It's like just a great price. If anybody got one, during the sale, good on you. And if anyone got one and doesn't own one, let me know. I'll trade you something for it. Because I wouldn't mind having a second one. I don't think I like it as much as my Stupid yet, but starting to. Yo, Throw CC, happy birthday, dude. All right, boop, boop, boop. Boop, nope. Yeah, the shorter string helps for me. My friends hate hearing that sound all the time. Shorter string's harder to hit that little green triangle though. Come on. Boop. No, that's the ugliest little green triangle. Sounds like a children's book. The ugliest green triangle. How do you float ups? Yeah, ding. I know that that sound, that titanium ring for sure. So we can hit that. I love the stop and go combo. Boop, boop, boop. Nope. Yeah, yeah. You. Oh, your cat got scared from this ding? I can't imagine sparking, on purpose. It's gonna be so hard for me to bring this thing out, and play with it outside. I hate being scared of dropping a yo-yo, because it really inhibits the way you play, and you're just less free and more uptight or whatever when you're playing. So you're not kind of doing stuff right. So hopefully I kind of get over that, hit it on the ground a couple times. I think it would help me out if I had a second one, like a backup or something. I keep trying to think of a trick from here. Okay, like this one, where I spin. I don't know, I kind of envision like a inside outside thing. Yeah, I'm liking this with the Sumo. I could even, because the yo-yo's heavier than I'm used to, I could even stand to have a little more weight on the counterweight, to put a washer in there or something. I have a bearing in here, and just my 2 cents, I think bearings inside of counterweights are kind of gimmicky, but they do add weight. All right, titanium strong before. Have I custom anodized my own titaniums before? Callie Green's asking. I haven't. When I ordered this from YoYoFactory, Ben was like, hey, let me know if you want this thing custom colored. And I said, yes, I do. And it took a while to ship, took a couple weeks or whatever. So I thought, okay, that's cool. It must be in the queue. And I got it, and it's not custom colored. So, so yeah, I was kind of expecting to get this thing, and I didn't know what I was going to get, you know, color-wise, but I just got the unanodized one. And no, I haven't tried anodizing it. Kind of scared to. If anyone's interested in the style of play, this, you know, responsive counterweight play, I actually have a whole bunch of tutorials up on my YouTube page. So I have at least like, you know, probably 4 hours worth of tutorials on there. Some are separated into like, here's how to set up your yo-yo, and here's the starting tricks, and others are kind of me teaching other people and kind of like, you know, having a more workshop-y experience. So yeah, if you're interested in learning responsive freehand stuff, check out my YouTube page. Just look for Dr. Popular, I guess. I'm not sure there's any questions. I am kind of, I just wanted to try this out. I've been waiting for this thing for a while, and I am really impressed. You know, when some people say responsive, they mean semi-responsive, and the last thing you want when you're doing like modern responsive play, the last thing you want is to tug and not know if something's going to come to your hand. You know, you want something really consistent, and with some love, with some silicone grease and a flat bearing, this thing certainly is highly consistent and snappy. Very impressed with it. I see some familiar faces. Hi, Yo-Yoin, howdy. YoYoFactory Keith, what's up? Okay, cool. So Forge Carvings is saying, I started just this month to learn yo-yo thanks to that playlist, and I really don't regret it. That's awesome to hear. You know, super stoked. All right, I've been trying to figure out one of your moves. You throw a 1.5 mount, roll it into your non-throw hand Buddhist style, and release it okay. Yeah, someone's asking for trick, Mr. Meach. Just let me know if it's, I think I know the move you're talking about. Let me know if it's this one. Does that look like it? I can do that again. One and a half, bounce, bounce, and then ends there. Or is it like I'm assuming it's like a not responsive trick that you're talking about. And if it is that trick, I can show you that. That's one of my favorite moves. I do it all the time. Although I'm actually pretty used to doing it responsive. Okay, yeah, that's the move. Cool. I'm glad you like that. Like, that's, you know, one of my original moves, and I've never made a tutorial for it. But to help you out, one thing is I have a trick called the pop out. It's the dock pop out or whatever, right? And the pop out looks like this. It's just a way to get into other stuff. But the pop out, you know, it starts with a 1.5. It's got this bounce and another bounce, and then it dismounts. So bounce, bounce, you know, and you can do whatever. So that's what I'm doing with the counterweight. You can actually find my pop out tutorial on YouTube. The version with the counterweight is going to look like this. It's going to look 1.5, and then I let it swing, just kind of hitting up, which is just the motion it kind of wants to do from that 1.5. Once it swings, I reverse the direction and go kind of over my other hand. This isn't a long spinning, this is like a responsive yo-yo, but so 1.5, bounce, reverse direction, go all the way around, bounce here, and usually I would let it fall off there, but because it is a counterweight trick, we go bounce around, and that's where I let go of that weight. So it's on that second bounce. The first bounce is on the right side, second bounce is here, and when it does that bounce, that's when I let go of that counterweight, and I guess you just kind of follow it from there. I never named that trick, so I don't really have any more to tell you on that, but it's such a good transition. Okay, yeah, anyway. And for anyone who has a good eye, or is like just kind of curious, this is a green bolt, and these will be up on my site next week. And I did quietly, I haven't sent out an email about it or anything, but I quietly restocked bolts and counterweights on my website. So these are like the regular bolts in white, black, blue, and red. So these are available on my website, and greens are coming next week. And the only difference between the greens and everything else is I'm setting up the greens for responsive, and they're really set up for like just like regular responsive, not like modern responsive. Like they're kind of set up like for like a relaxing kind of deep state kind of vibe, right? Like just throwing and, you know, sleeping tricks and stuff like that, where like a modern responsive yo-yo I don't think would be great for that kind of stuff. So kind of, you know, semi-responsive play. And these will be up on my site next week. And I have matching counterweights too. I have green bishop and pawn counterweights. So yeah. And this art right here, this is graffiti, some dude in the neighborhood. I didn't know it at the time, because it was like one of the first pieces he threw up. But this dude apparently tags bolt, and he's everywhere. But like the day I got my bolts, the first batch, a bolt tag appeared on a nearby wall, and I'm like, oh, awesome. So I took a photo and like kind of turned it into here. I didn't know it was homie's name because, you know, it was like the first piece he tagged. So yeah, this is graffiti art from my neighborhood that I thought was a one-time thing. I didn't know he was actually kind of writing his name, but I don't think he's very good. I mean, he's getting better. I think he's a beginner graph dude. So anyway, this kind of has this lovingly bad art on it. Okay, yeah, Mr. Meach, if you need any more help with that trick, I can help you out kind of separate from here. But yeah, I would recommend watching the pop-out video because the pop-outs are just sick in general. And I think once you learn the pop-outs, you'll learn how to do, you know, just let go of the counterweight at the right time. And, you know, I was talking about modifying these things. Like I said, when I got this, it came with a concave bearing that's like an A-size bearing, might even be slightly larger. And I just took that out and I put in just the same bearing I use for weekenders and stuff. I get these on Amazon, just, you know, 10 millimeter by 5 millimeter by 3 millimeter. Yeah. These are what I use for weekenders and stuff like that. I like that they have that silicone ring or the rubber ring, like the gasket. And I always put lube, and I'll just kind of even show you how I do that because there's a little trick to it. When you're lubing a responsive yo-yo, like a modern responsive yo-yo, a thing I heard that it kind of has worked well for me is instead of putting the lube on the bearing, put it on the walls, on where the spacers are going to be. I think what that does is it kind of like creates like a little bit more of a pool, and it kind of gets stuck in there, so you're not just like throwing it and then it all just spins out with the bearing or whatever. It seems to give you a much more consistent bit of responsiveness to it. So yeah, Confusion, YoYoFactory gets my thumbs up for responsive, and gets my thumbs up for counterweight play. It's a bit heavy for like what I'm used to, but I think if I kind of stick with it more, I might actually get better. Like it might actually help me level up my game a little bit. So we'll see. All right, that's it. I'm going to peace out. Yeah, thanks to Steve at 5A Yo-Yo for sending these badass counterweights. I can't wait to give them a try. Cheers.